We'll be making is sweet barbecue pork, and the ingredients super easy. You can find this at any store. So first of all, of course, we need the ribs. I'm using kind of the bigger, like the long ribs, not the short ribs, okay? Because it take a longer time to cook. The short ribs you can make it with short ribs. It's just you just have to shorten the time and the ingredients. And then you need some rice wine. If you don't know where to get rice wine, you can always use sake. And then soy sauce, and the last ingredient is Coke. So that's the ingredient that's going to make it sweet. Okay, that's it. That's the only 4 items, and ginger, just a little bit to balance out the flavor. So first of all, let's start with let's cut our gingers first. So you just want to cut it in like a very thin slice. This will be added in, and that's it. And then for our ribs, you want to cut it. What I like to do is I like to see the bones on this side. You can't really see it on this side. So you just want to cut it in strips. Just follow the rib line so you don't cut the bones. And do this, cut it straight down. Oh, that's just really fine. Okay, and just turn on the fire. There we go. I'm not adding any oils, okay? No oil, because it's going to extract the oil, the fat from the rib. There's no need to make the whole dish greasier than it has to be. Okay. But if you're not using a non-stick pan, you can always just drizzle a little bit in, or use paper towel to rub it through. Rub on the pot. Wash my hands. Grab my chopsticks. Oh, and we're done with cutting for today. Grab another pot that you can use for your crock pot or your rice cooker or your steamer, something like that, then you can put it in. So I'm using my rice cooker today, so I'm just going to put my ginger in there now, and I can put away my cooking board now. That's all the ingredient you need. It's a super easy barbecue ribs, a sweet barbecue ribs that you can make at home, and you can make ahead of time. You know, a lot of the crock pot has a timer setting, so you can make ahead of time and then just have it cooked, so it'll be ready when you got home. So basically, what we are doing is we are cooking the outside of the ribs. Well, we want to make it golden brown. It might be a little difficult if your rib is like curved like that. That's fine. You can just cook whichever part is touching the surface. It's okay. It doesn't take too long. You want to do that to all sides of the rib. Sorry, I got a new kitty, so she's playing with the wire. Just want to make a golden brown. as well. So you want to seal in all the juice. So when you're cooking in the steamer or your crock pot, it's not going to lose your flavor. And pour apart. Okay. So let me show you the example of golden brown. It's kind of like this. Just need like nice and golden. Just make sure you do it on both sides. We're almost done. I'm gonna turn off the flame now, so it's done cooking. We're just gonna put directly into whatever pot you have. I'm using just a regular pot to put in my rice cooker. So if your rice cooker require like a special pot, you want to use that one. And then with our so then you have a little bit of residue on your in your saute pan, right? That's a good part of the juice. That's the leftover from this. So what you want to do while the pan is hot, you want to pour in a little bit of rice water. Just give it a short to wash it off. And then put it directly in there. Done. Make sure all your ribs are on the bottom so it's easier for the sauce to submerge. So you do want to make sure everything is touching the sauce, but it will shrink, so it doesn't have to be like completely submerged. And then you add in your I'm adding my Coke. So I'm using the mini Coke today. You can use Pepsi. It doesn't have to be Coca-Cola. We are not sponsored by them. It's just at the store using Coke. So you can use whatever not soft drink. You want to use Coke. Don't use Diet Coke. I tried that once. Then it doesn't turn out good. So use Coke and then you just pour it in. You want this at least be half submerged in Coke. And then you want to add in your soy sauce, about half as well, like just a little bit. Then just give it a stir so everything is kind of touching this, like all the rib has sauce on it. Okay. And then that's all. You just put in. And then you want to put in your rice cooker or your steamer or your crock pot. If you're using a crock pot, just remember to read the direction, how long it's supposed to cook in that crock pot. But if you're using a steamer or if you're using a rice cooker, you want to put in for at least 1 hour. So I have one that's ready right here. I'm going to put this one in. So that's going to cook for another hour. And this one is the one that I did earlier today. Look, all the rib is like falling apart. Not falling apart because we cooked it already, right? But it's still attached. But it's fully cooked. So it's going to look something like that. Okay? Now it has a lot of sauce on it, and that's the part that we want. That's the part that's going to make it sticky, okay? And it's going to be sweet. So what we want to do is remove the ribs from the pot and then just put it in. You can just dump the whole pot in there. That's fine. Just take a longer time to cook. What I like to do is I like to pour in just the amount of sauce that I want. And I usually do about half. So I'm not adding in all of it because I feel like that's going to take a really long time for it to evaporate all the liquid. That just take too much time. So I like to, but if you want to, if you're too lazy, you're like, no, I'm just going to dump the whole thing in. That's totally fine too. So what we are going to do, because the sugar from Coke is going to still be there, so we're caramelizing the sugar, and then once all the liquid has evaporated, it's going to be just gooey, sticky goodness left. You just want to, you know, watch it so it's not going to burn. But it shouldn't burn because we still have a lot of bubble. And the one optional ingredient is sesame. You can add it on, you don't have to, but you know, I will add it on just for the heck of it. Alright. So it's perfect if you're on a run, you have guests coming over, when you can have guests coming over, or you know, you go to work, you want to come home, you can just put it in crock pot, set a timer, and you'll be ready when you got home. All you have to do is really 3 steps. Like the rib, put it in a pot, let it cook, and just let it kind of evaporate and make it into glue. Because there's other ingredient in Coke, and the gas, the carbon dioxide from the Coke is really going to help soften the meat, so that the rib is going to be really nice and soft. It's not like falling the bone because we did cook the exterior and of the rib already, so it's going to seal everything in. So it's not like some of the rib that's going to be falling off the bone, but it has a very different texture. Don't like ginger, you can just remove it. So by cooking it, you can see like the sugar is getting darker, and because we also add in soy sauce, the whole thing is getting darker as we cook it and saute it more. So you do want to make sure you are, you know, just stir it around so all sides of the rib are cooking equally amount of time. Now you really don't want the sugar to burn because, you know, liquid is, you know, has gone down. You don't want it to burn. Turn down the flame a little bit. So as you can see, there's not much liquid in here anymore. I'm just going to let the sugar and soy sauce mixture going to coat it all around my ribs. And you're done. It's super easy, and then what we can do, if you want to make things pretty, you can just lay each ribs on the plate. So we're done with that. And then just sprinkle a little bit of sesame. your barbecue, sweet barbecue short ribs. Right here. Alright, tasting time. Still really hot, but no, I'll change it. Alright, let's give it a try. It does take a little bit longer to do because it does require to put in a rice cooker or your steamer or crock pot, but it's really easy. It's not like falling off the rib kind of ribs. It's more like it has a little bit more texture to it, but it's still really good. I like the sauce a lot. It's really easy, and if your kid likes sweet, it's going to be a perfect combination for you. It's easy to do. So that's it, guys. An easy barbecue rib. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye. Here it is.